So the Ivy League, in the last 8 years, has had a really good record in NCAA tournament play. Um, they've won 3 games. In 2014, Harvard beat Cincinnati. Um, in 2016, Yale beat Baylor in the 5-12 game. Last year, Princeton beat Arizona in the 2-15 game. In 3 of the losses were fewer than 5 points. This Yale team lost to LSU the year that we played them by the LSU, which was the league champions, regular season champions, by just 5. And this Yale team lost to Purdue in 2022. So this has been a team that's been to the tournament, I think, three times since 2016, this coaching staff. This is a really good team, a really good program, and they've got a really good history of first-round upsets. Why is that? Because they play the right way, because they play hard, they play physically, they're from the Ivy League, so they're smart. They'll run great stuff. They got great three-point shooters. They got a 7-foot, 7'1", pro that's probably going to be more of an international pro, but there are people talking about it potentially in the NBA. So they've got some really good pieces. So we've got that. We'll prepare for them primarily. We understand that the way we look at it is it's a 4-team tournament with San Diego State and UAB in the field. And so, as you guys know, I separate my staff, and we have 3 scout teams that are each on Yale, UAB, and San Diego State. There's going to be there've been a lot of talk about our seeding. I'm fine with our seed. Would like for it to be better, but I'm not. I'm okay with our seed. Could be better, but I'm okay with it. I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it again. Very excited about going to Spokane, beautiful city. Very excited about going to Gonzaga and seeing that campus. But I'd prefer to go there fishing and go hang out with Mark Few. I just think about our fans, and I just think about our players' parents, and I think about the families that are trying to get out there. The pod system was created so that you didn't have to do this. So that's my only complaint. We're leaving on Tuesday to play a game on Friday in another time zone. The Tuesday departure was our choice, but I'd love to leave Tuesday after, even tonight. But we couldn't leave tonight. We had to leave early afternoon, so we had to miss class. And then, whoever's fortunate enough, but we already know that if we win, and if we're fortunate enough to win, if we're blessed to win, if we're lucky enough to win, we don't leave till Monday. Where should we go Monday? Come back to Auburn? My advice, so rather than just complaining about things, my advice would be to do a study of where the teams are in the country that are making the tournament. And if there's a preponderance of teams that are in the southern part of the country that are making the tournament, or the west, or the northeast, or then have more regions, have more pods in those locations. So we're very excited about being in it. But that would be something I would not be doing my job as part of the process with the NCAA. We're part of it. I'm just a coach, but I'm part of it. Questions?
Quick turnaround. How's the team sort of handling celebrating Sunday night, and then it's Yale?
Well, if you notice, I didn't mention anything about Sunday, and not going to talk about it much. You asked me a question about it, because that's a challenge. After the game, and all you got to do is you learn by your own experiences, or you learn by experiences of others. And because I've congratulated Tennessee on a number of occasions publicly because of what an incredible regular season championship that is, given the quality of our league. This is not a criticism, but it's just to learn from. After clinching at South Carolina, which is just, again, an incredible accomplishment. There's nothing wrong with losing to Kentucky at home, a very talented Kentucky team, and a really hard-playing physical Mississippi State team. But they're 0-2 since they won the championship. Part of that is the quality of the teams they're playing. Part of it is just human nature. It's human nature. Our guys should have celebrated Sunday, and probably even yesterday. So what we did yesterday was we met, we got a stretch, we watched a little bit of film of how we guarded because they could understand, look, that's why we won, because of the way we guarded. And that was it. We made the gym available for some shots. Again, not knowing even yesterday when we were leaving. We didn't find out till last night at 10:30 when we were leaving, which then meant we had to last night make a decision on, okay, how long can they go in class? I've got some guys that have an 11. I'm going to start practice today at 10:30 right now because we have to leave at 1. But I had some guys that have a really important 11 o'clock class, and I'm going to have some of those guys late to practice. So they would not have practiced yesterday, and they're going to only practice maybe about 45 minutes today because of just this time and travel and all this is just not necessary for a Friday game. But we don't have a choice. I think our guys are, will be excited about playing in this tournament, and we'll get them ready.
It's just something you've talked about kind of all season, like Denver Jones, for example, is like guys that came to Auburn to kind of take on less minutes, kind of more of a role player, and from whatever smaller school that they may have been at in the past. I guess to turn that recruiting pitch and win an SEC championship with it, is that validating of what you kind of wanted to sell to these guys last summer?
Yeah, I thought this was a good team, and I hate to keep using the same lines, but I thought this was a good team that had a chance to be very good. We all talked about that we thought we would be a team that would shot it better than the year before. We talked about whether or not this team was going to be able to defend and be physical enough. And I think if you would look at, we're right about the shooting, and we became a better defensive team, and we became physical enough to be able to compete. And so I think this team made a lot of progress. I think this coaching staff, my staff did an outstanding job with player development, and I think the guys did a great job all year long of being unselfish and all being patient and all accepting less individually so that we as a team could achieve more. That's pretty good.
Anyone in the league that's sort of comparable in terms of play style to what you've seen from Yale on tape so far?
We played them 2 years ago, and Coach Jones is a great coach, and like most great coaches, they are who they are, right? And so he is who they are, and that's how they played. They'll have some variations in personnel, but he's been doing it really well for a long time. And so, you know, you've got that 5-out Ivy League, Princeton stuff, but they all run it. It's not just Princeton, everybody runs it, so they're really good at it. Obviously, they got a couple guys that are like ridiculously dangerous from shooting, you know, shooting the ball. And so, you know, specifically, Mahoney is like he's probably the best set 3-point shooter in college basketball. Like he's shooting 60% right now from a 3 in his last 5. And he's a left-hander. He's got good size, and he's their 3rd leading scorer. And again, they've got a 7-foot center that's kind of fun to watch because he's a big kid that's got real skills. He can shoot it. He can put it on the floor. Like they break pressure with him. He'll bring the ball up the floor. He's an old school. He's a throwback. And then number 4, who's their leading scorer, their best player. I'm just going to try not to mess up his name, so it's no disrespect. Let's just say John. He's a very, very versatile player. Can score inside and out, and you know, great playmaker. And their point guard is athletic and tough and fast. And gets downhill, so it's they got some really good pieces.
You talked about sitting down and guarding and defending, and how that was the key for y'all to win this tournament. How much does that help against a team like Yale, who is very patient with the ball, doesn't turn it over, just having that, you know, kind of that experience doing that?
The key is to defend. The key is to defend without fouling. That's the key. To continue to defend the way we like to defend, but you know, no, it's no, and you also just don't know too about how the game will be called. I do know as you progress in the tournament, with every game they continue to let you play more and more, and so we hope that's the case in game 1.
Coach, piggybacking off what you said a couple minutes ago, you said on Wednesday before the SEC tournament this was a very good team that had an opportunity to be great. Just kind of what's your assessment of them getting up to that next tier? If they haven't already become a great team, what do you think they need to do in your eyes to kind of solidify that this year?
Well, I think you know, this team has been great. You can't win a championship without being great, so they're already great. They don't have to do anything else to be great. Nothing. As we move forward now, we put ourselves in position. We have an opportunity, and so we just truly need to keep doing what we're doing, keep defending. You know, could we do a better job on rebounding? We weren't dominant in our rebounding, so we got to continue to do a good job with that, and continue to stay unselfish and make shots.
Bruce, Chris Moore and what he's done the last week or two, what has that meant to you personally for a guy you've worked with for 4 years, and what has it meant to the team?
Yeah, I think it's just, I've talked about it before, but I think it's a great lesson in life. First of all, you know, so much of this team, I do hope that, I hope we can advance for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons I think from a national standpoint is to tell this story about Jalen Williams, 5 years in a program, and Dylan Caldwell and Chris Moore, and Leo Berman, 5 years in a program, and Dylan Caldwell and Chris Moore being 4 years in a program, and Katie Johnson, 3, and guys that have been here a while, right? And in this day and age of the transfer portal and NIL, it's a throwback. And it's a demonstration of that when we are successful as a team, you as an individual can benefit far more than if you as an individual is successful but the team fails. This team did not fail, and we had many individuals that have been recognized. Chris Moore, he's a great chemistry guy. He's a great teammate, great in the locker room, great leader, loves Auburn, and cared so much about the team and his teammates. He didn't want to let his teammates down or his coaches down by making mistakes earlier in the year, and put too much pressure on himself, and as a result didn't perform well, and lost his rotation, lost his minutes to Leo Berman, and understood that he had lost them. Didn't complain about it, was disappointed but understood. But he and I talked, and I said, you're going to, this is what it is right now, but you got to stay right and ready because it can change. He said, I know, Coach. I said, but now when it does, what did you learn? And would you take what you've learned and be right and ready next time? And the answer was simply, don't be afraid to fail. Go out there and be aggressive. And stop letting the fact that you care so much get in the way of your enjoying the game and having joy in the game, right? And he's done that. And his teammates are thrilled. So are we. Teammates and coaches.